Good evening, everyone. It's a great privilege to welcome you to this 2012 version of the Wang Center Symposium on Global Issues. And we're delighted you're here and hope you stick around for what promises to be the next 24 hours plus of absolutely outstanding programming and stimulating discussion and conversation. It takes a village to mount a symposium. And the mayor of this symposium village is named Peter Wang, class of '60, Concordia College, and his beautiful wife, Grace. It was on September 20th, 2001, 9 days after the 9/11 terrorist attacks, that I was privileged to travel to Pebble Beach and sit down with Peter and Grace. They said, "We've given blood. We sent a donation. Now we need to do something really significant. We want to establish a center that will help you educate a new generation of leaders, smarter about the world, more experienced, more committed, a generation that maybe can avoid future 9/11s. They said, "How much would it take to do that?" We said $4 million. They said, "We will do it." Hence was born the Wang Center for Global Education at Pacific Lutheran University. 5 years later, we would be recognized as the first American college and university to have faculty and students on all 7 continents at the same time. 8 years later, we would be the first private university in the Western United States to receive the coveted Senator Paul Simon Award for Globalization. Such is the power of the dream that Peter and Grace founded and helped inspire. But there was another part to their dream. A part of their dream was that this campus right here where we're gathered tonight, could become a kind of center where truly some of the most important and challenging and vexing and possibility-filled conversations about the future of the global village might occur. And that those conversations would be local, involving everybody in this community, in this Puget Sound region, but also that each of those conversations would be global, and that they would bring together the experts and the perspectives from around the globe. And out of those conversations might come new hope and possibility for our world. Peter and Grace don't travel as easily as they once did, and so they're not able to be here tonight. But I think it would be appropriate if we paused for a moment and expressed our appreciation to Peter and Grace Wang for the vision that brings us together 11 years later. So where have we been? We started in late 2001 and established the center, and 2 years later we found ourselves coming together to talk about China and the role of China. We called it Bridges for a New Century. And 2 years later it was Pathways to Peace, a discussion about Norway's approach to democracy and development. And then we moved on 2 years later to talk about advances in global health and the role of non-governmental organizations. And finally, 2 years ago, when the Olympics were being held in Vancouver, British Columbia, we gathered and talked about understanding the world through the metaphor and the reality of sports and recreation. And now we gather to talk about the subject which Neil introduced so eloquently, water. and our thirsty planet. I hope as you hear the conversation and discussion, you will be sensitive to the village it took to put this program together. The key participants in that village are listed in the back of the program. And I hope you will have an opportunity to thank the program leaders and those presenters who are gathered. I mentioned that Peter and Grace envisioned a global conversation in this local context. And so last night we had a group of the presenters at our house, and it was quite wonderful because we had represented the countries of India and the country of Namibia and the country of Trinidad. And we anticipated the arrival of the Voice of Canada that we will hear tonight, as well as a number of our local presenters. It's a global conversation we need to have in a local setting about an issue that affects us all. As we work to build a globally focused university, we are continuing to discover new partners that we can work with internationally. They are partners that make what happens here possible. They give richness to our programs, and they create opportunities abroad. And one of our newest partners is the Thor Heyerdahl Institute of Larvik, Norway, an institute established to recognize and celebrate and extend and understand the legacy of the great Nordic explorer Thor Heyerdahl. And so we have a wonderful delegation from the Institute who are with us, and we hope their presence here is a first step in what will be a continuing relationship between the Institute and Pacific Lutheran University. And it's my pleasure at this time to call upon the chair of the board of the Institute, Mr. Knut Peel, who will come forward for the purpose of saying a few words about the Institute and about their role in this year's symposium. Welcome, one and all. We're delighted that you're here. Have a great time.